Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces, introducing you to the Dimplex Ignite Ultra electric fireplace. Ignite Ultra is a multi-sided fireplace. We have chosen to block the end glass and install it as a single-sided unit, but it does have glass on both ends, which means I can do a single-sided frameless installation. I could open up either end and create an L shape, or I could open up the glass on both ends and create a bay window effect. So it is a multi-sided fireplace. It has what they call dynamic fire flame effect, which means that it's going to come with 3 different flame rods. That's the rod that throws the reflections of the light that makes the flame look the way it does. We've chosen the one that we think looks the most realistic, but there are going to be 3 options in the box with the fireplace, and you will experiment and choose which one you think looks the best for your particular style. It also has what they call quick connect rhythmic logs. So these logs are glowing from within. That's something we normally only see on a more traditional fireplace. Typically with a linear fire, the logs would not light up. These logs are plugged in and they're glowing from within, and they're gorgeous. So it really adds to the flame effect. And you can possibly hear the crackling noises. So this fire has sound effects that mimic the sound of a wood burning fire. I can control the volume, and you don't have to have the sound effects on at all. If they aren't something that you enjoy, you definitely don't have to have those turned on, but it is a nice option to have that is not available on every fireplace. These flames have multiple colors available, all of them meant to look fairly natural. We've chosen the yellow here, but I can cycle through other flame colors. So I can add in the orange, I can mix up the orange and the yellow, I can have the logs off. And there I've turned off the flames, and you really get the effect of that pulsing glow through the logs as well as the ember bed, and that works underneath the flames to really enhance the realism of the flame effect here. And then we will get those back on and put it back to yellow. So you have lots of options, all of them meant to look fairly natural in the range of coloring. You get to control how intense you want those flames to look. This is a dual voltage unit, so it can connect to 120 volts or 240 volts. And that means that we have a range of heating options. On 120 volts, it could warm up about a 400 square foot area. On 240 volts, there's more power for the heater, so it's going to heat up a smaller area more quickly, or it's going to heat up an area up to about 800 square feet on 240 volts. And of course, because it's electric, you never have to have the heater on to have the flames on. The flame and the heat are independent of one another, and you can certainly have flames without heat if you are running this fireplace in a warmer environment, or the room has just gotten warm and you really don't need the heat. You always have that choice with an electric fireplace. There is an app to operate this fireplace on the Dimplex app. We find the apps generally are making these fireplaces easier to control because there are so many features, but there is a remote here. It's a little different from the previous Dimplex remotes, and it has a magnetic back, so it could stick onto something magnetic nearby the fireplace, or even the rim of the fireplace if you want to make sure you always know where the remote is. The other fireplaces that we would compare this one to, because it's multi-sided, we have to talk about other multi-sided fireplaces, even if we're going to install them as a single-sided. So of course with Dimplex, there's the Ignite Bold, which was the precursor to the Ignite Ultra. So similar depth, similar window height, but without the glowing logs, and the flames are not the same on the Bold as they are on the Ultra. So definitely some differences, and without the sound effects on the Ultra or on the Bold as well. Other multi-sided fireplaces, you could look at the entire TrueView series from Amonte. They have quite a range of TrueView 3-sided, multi-sided units that could be installed as this one is. The LPM and the Orion Multi from Modern Flames, again, multi-sided fires that can be installed in all the same ways as this one. And the Napoleon Luminex is also a multi-sided, and any multi-sided can be installed as a single-sided or as an L shape. Then of course, because we can install it with the ends blocked, we can also compare this to deeper single-sided electrics. So things like the Napoleon Astound built-in, or the Amante Panorama Deep series, where you have built-in fire with a potential for a frameless border. All of these fireplaces, including the Dimplex Ignite Ultra, can be found at stylishfireplaces.ca. You can search by style. You could look under 2- and 3-sided. You could look under in-wall linear, and you can search by brand and look for Dimplex Ignite Ultra.